And good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Market is open now, so we're going to get some volatility kicking. And Marzidi had a great question. He asked, how far back do I like to go for fair value gaps? Where do I like to sort of place my targets and stuff, sort of look for fair value gaps in the past? What time frames? Me personally, I only like to use fair value gaps on lower time frames. The highest fair value gap I'll look for is maybe a 15, very rarely a 30, and I'll only look for like a recent day fair value gap. I won't look for something super far out. If I'm looking for something far out, I'm looking for a higher time frame supply or demand zone. Does that mean that those higher time frame fair value gaps don't work? No, they could work too, but I've had more success with the higher time frame supply and demand, which would also just be order blocks. And what else? What else? Higher time frame supply and demand and lower time frame fair value gaps. Even the supply and demand that I mark out versus the order blocks that an ICT or SMC trader would mark out, they're a bit different, and that small bit of difference doesn't make my zones better, doesn't make them worse, but it does make them different and keeps me in and out of certain zones and trades. Now, that's all just like any strategy. It comes with a set of rules, it comes with everything like that. Let's take a look for everybody just tuning in. We have crude oil, bottom left screen. Gold is on a rally right now, guys. Almost up to 24.90. Would like to see gold. I've got a zone at 24.93 on gold. So I'd want to see it at key psych level 24. I'd want to see 25,000. That'd be pretty huge today on gold. Reason we're looking for gold and crude, guys, too, is because look how choppy the ES is right here and the NQ is right here. NQ, we have a 30-minute demand zone that we're going to be coming up near soon. Now, I wouldn't really call this the strongest demand zone. It held up 1, 2, 3 times. So I would want to see if we could hold it again while taking out some lows on ES. Same with ES. This is a bit of a 30-minute demand zone right here. We have our basing candle, our rally candle, and a little bit of continuation. But the important thing is that this demand did hold up a few times as well. So we're going to save this too, sort of get an idea if we could run through this liquidity, hold up at this demand. Or see if NASDAQ wants to run through some of these lows while ES holds up at that demand zone, right? So it's different things to really be aware of. 30-minute I was looking for on crude oil to continue to the upside. That's exactly what we're getting right now. What I'm mainly looking for on crude right now is probably going to be a fair value gap here on the 5-minute and a pullback somewhere over here, and we'll re-enter on that pullback. So we will look for, this was the potential trade I was looking for earlier off of this demand zone on crude. Missed it, but that's alright. We just wait for the next setup. Market just opened. We did not miss anything. Some selling pressure stepping in there on ES and NQ. More on ES right now, not so much on NQ. See that right here? We have our market pulse in the middle, bottom. We have the ES, the NQ on the top left and top right. We have crude oil and gold on the bottom left and bottom right. Any questions, YouTube, of course, let me know. Discord, you guys can always tune in, chime in too. Got a nice little run there on crude.
So crude north side targets are going to be, we got a prior day VPOC up at 78.34. So that's a good one.
I like that.
Gold is presently at a prior day VPOC. If it continues going north, you've got pivot point R3, which is pretty substantial, up at 2,500.
Yeah, very good, very good. Cool, that's cool. I have on crude, I'm looking for 78.42. We have the supply zone up there. I don't really have much in between that and where we're at right now. So again, sort of just looking for us to create some type of maybe 5-minute fair value gap, or we'll see. Where's our Fibonacci tool? See, we get some type of run up to like here, say, and then pull back. I'd want us to pull back on crude before that supply zone. because that will give me the confidence that when we pull back, we re-enter on that long position, we could then target within that supply zone. A lot of times when we hesitate before breaking a zone, we end up breaking through it even stronger. So we're going to be careful here. Again, ES and NQ are chopping right now. We see the chop. We see the range. We are not trading this range right now. This is not good. NQ, you would have thought you should go short down here. It popped up. Now you would probably think to go long up here. And you know what? It might go long. It might take out these highs. But right now, you'd much rather be patient and look to see if we want to take out a high on one of them while failing the high on the other and look for that SMT divergence to take. But right now, there's no trades on ES, no trades on NQ. And as traders, we have to recognize that when we're in a range, anything. I'm going to be looking at crude down here. My main watches today, crude, maybe gold. Take a look, see if gold has any 1 minute fair value gaps. Gold has a pretty good 1 minute fair value gap right here. And I'd like to see where that fib lies on gold. Alright, so we're going to keep an eye on this fair value gap right here on gold. I really like that for a potential long position. Target new high a day there on gold. Nice 4-1, almost 5-1. We'll make that a 5-1. There's that selling pressure. Again, NASDAQ giving us very mixed signals. When the market gives us mixed signals, there's no form of confirmation. Very low probability. We stay out of it. YouTube, I'm going to skip those ads for you guys. Don't feel that during the live stream they're necessary, especially because the market is open right now, right? They're very volatile. We don't want to be missing out. So until I see, so you see we took this liquidity to the downside on ES. We didn't take out much liquidity yet on NASDAQ, right? We still have this area right here where it almost touched, right? So now I want to see this area is a magnet, in my opinion. This 18,633, right? Because now we have, give me 1 second to put this out there too. Now we have a swing low here, a swing low that almost broke that swing low, and another swing low below it. And below all of that is a demand zone. But again, that doesn't mean we're not going to go higher first. Right now, getting in a trade, you're like flipping a coin. And that's not how we trade. We look for probability. We look for confirmation. Again, I wanted to see these areas work as a magnet. There's that first hit. I want to see this one get hit as well. 18,626, about 10 points away right now. But again, every time we come to these levels, we're reacting. So we don't want to get in short right away either. Crude oil and gold have been much stronger. We could see clearly on these charts, the trend has been much stronger on crude and gold than it has been on ES and NQ. So we're going to be looking to trade one of these two. Ideally I wanted to trade gold because of how strong, how crazy strong it looks. But we might not get a pullback on gold for a little bit, and that's okay, because that just gives me even more confirmation on that strength. Crude oil too, sort of chopping around. See that? That was a strong area. Market came right to it. We still got some good selling pressure. Strong selling pressure right there, guys. Just staying patient. I want to see ES coming down to these levels. Again, more areas of liquidity. I want to see if we come into this demand zone and hold it. Some more selling pressure, some more selling pressure. We have another liquidity level sitting right here on the NASDAQ. So right now people are getting bearish, but again, looking left, we're still in this range. So we're in NASDAQ demand zone. We are not in ES demand zone just yet. Crude oil, gold. Well, gold continued that run. Look at gold, guys, pumping away to that supply zone right now. See how sellers just got weak? We hit this demand zone on NASDAQ and we got weak on that selling pressure. So I'm going to look one more time to see how we react in this demand zone on NASDAQ. There's gold hitting that supply zone I'm probably looking for a NASDAQ long here at this demand zone. Let's see. The thing is, I don't want to jump the gun in long positions because that selling pressure was pretty strong. There's supply on gold. Was a nice reaction, though, on ES to that liquidity level right there. But we didn't hit the demand on ES either, so I'm really just staying patient. Sellers could step back in at any time. This candle hasn't closed on the 5-minute. Again, looking at gold, gold is pushing in supply. Now I would like to see gold pull back. So now we want to see gold pull back into this 5-minute fair value gap for an entry.
No, I don't. I'm already long, man. I'm already long.
While we're in supply, I would probably take some profits. Nice selling pressure. Again, why we don't jump into any shorts right out the gate. Or any longs, I should say. Just because we're in a zone doesn't mean we're in a trade. Just because we're in a zone doesn't mean we're in a trade. I like that one. I like that one. I gotta trademark that. Alright, let's see. Let's see if we can take out these lows right here. And again, hold demand on ES and NQ. Something I mentioned earlier, though, was maybe NASDAQ could take out these lows because of how much liquidity is resting down here. But looking at that daily buy is pretty bullish. I want to mark yesterday's open. I'm sorry, yesterday's close. I'm going to make that purple. Well, oh wow, yesterday's close is right at that demand zone. That's pretty wild. All right, there's ES hitting that demand zone. Looking for NQ here. I have my limit orders. Yeah, let's see. If it doesn't break this demand zone, I'm in. If it breaks this demand zone, I'm not in. It broke it, so we're gonna wait. 240 left in this. I'm still considering putting some long positions out there, right at this 18603. If buyers step back in. Mark this level as another strong area of liquidity. We did break this demand zone now. Let's see how we react. Crude oil pulling back. See, if we don't get this pullback, we don't get this setup, then we don't have a setup on NASDAQ, right? And we're still being patient for gold and crude. YouTube, I'm going to skip the ads for you guys one more time. Let me know in the comments, though, what are you guys trading? What are you guys watching right now? Do you want me to change anything on Bookmap? Do you want to see any different charts? I will say I'm considering longs, depending on how, potentially on how this 1 minute closes. I do like the buying pressure. But ES broke its demand zone. NASDAQ broke its demand zone. I'm going to be patient on this. Sellers were pretty strong there. Really want gold to pull back. Get all the gold in California. Let's see. Want crude to pull back. Crude and gold. Those are the two I'm looking for right now. Looking for crude to pull back to potentially this fair value gap right here around the 78 even. That's 78 key psychological level right there. So we could then use this key psych level along with this fair value gap, and it sort of has a bit of a breaker block in it too, right? Because of this consolidation phase. And then we could target that demand zone up there. We're looking. That's a nice setup. That's 10-1 right there on crude. So we're going to keep an eye on that for crude. There's a selling pressure continued, right, guys? So we talked out that trade plan. Did not work out. We didn't jump the gun into it. So that's exactly how we have to be. Just react. We are in a 5-minute fair value gap on crude, but I do want to see us push here. I'm going to get crude oil up on our heat map right now. I have some limit orders. I'm going to go in with, looks like 4 contracts. We go with 4 contracts on crude right there. I hope that's gold. With crude right over here, 78 even. 78.01 is my entry.
Keep your charts straight now.
What?
You can't be looking at crude and trading on gold.
Oh yeah, right? Right, imagine. Alright, guys, I'm going long on crude. Next thing I know, I'm in like a long on gold. Ah, they're both trending together either way, right, today, right? So we have to acknowledge that too. That's pretty cool. ESNQ very weak. Very little supporting it right now. Here comes crude. I'm gonna be trying out. We'll go 3 contracts. 7801 was where I wanted to enter. So we'll take a look. How's session volume profile? Okay, so I'm gonna put my limit order out there. I'm in some crude long stop loss below the fair value gap. Very tight stop on this trade. So if it runs against us, that's okay. We are long crude at the moment. Looking for buyers to hold up. We have a pretty strong level here at 77.93, which sort of gave me the confidence that we would want to hold up in this low volume nodes over here, right? Low volume nodes, same thing as fair value gaps, very low. Ooh. Whoa, that was crazy. It stopped me out of one contract. Oh, there it goes. Stopped me right out of that. But here we are at the 79.30. So now we're in the order block, right? So now we're going to be patient, even more patient, because now we're hitting that 78%. I'm most likely jumping back in these crudes. Yeah, I'm going to get back in crude right there, guys. I'm going to adjust my stop loss a little bit. I do still have some confidence in this trade, which is why I jumped back in. Stop loss is going to be below the order block. The order block, so right here.
All right, gold north side targets, pivot point, and pivot point there, like I said, around at 24.99, which is also a supply area. So we'll see. But methinks it's going to take a while to get there.
Crude having some heck of a pullback right here. Still in some crude longs. Stop loss 77.92. 77.92. Entry is back at 77.99. Looking for, again, also looking for gold to pull back. So we got a few setups sort of brewing here. If crude stops us out, then so be it. NASDAQ giving us a bit of a pullback. I'm going to look to see if we created any 5-minute fair value gaps up in this 30-minute demand zone that broke. Keeping an eye on crude. Looks like it's going to try to continue to the downside. Got about a minute 38 left on crude. I really want to see buyers step in and push us above my entry point at that 77.90. Not just because it's my entry point, but because it's the middle point of that fair value gap that we broke as well. And I want to see this 5-minute candle close above that, to be honest. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. In some crude longs, looking for some type of bearish confirmation on ESNQ. And that's where we're at right now. I'm not seeing good buying pressure coming in here on crude oil. They're sort of trying to protect 77.91, 77.92 looking area, but it does look more weak than anything. So we got to be very careful on crude. Went very light. It's Monday. Monday sets the tone for the rest of the week. Yep. All right. So we're stopped out of crude again. That's all right because we're keeping our losses crazy small today. Staying patient now on our next trade, our next entry. So let's take a look. What do we have? I do want to see this level right here on crude. Let's see. Still waiting for gold to potentially pull back. We don't really have much entry-wise on the 1 minute for NASDAQ. So we're going to look at the 5. 5-minute is going to create this fair value gap right here. Mark that out blue. So I'm probably going to look to see if we could re-enter this broken 30-minute demand zone and go short off that. And we'll see also if our fib lines up with that. Because now we're starting to pull back. Nope, fib lines up a little above that, so we're going to be careful. But I do like that. Look at crude. Still trying to hold on crude. We'll still keep an eye on crude. If it wants to give us another type of entry for long positions, then we might have just been too soon. That's okay. We recognize that. How's the 15-minute looking? Gotta know those higher time frames. 30. 30 still looks good for longs on crude. I'm gonna see how this 1 minute wants to close. If it wants to close above here, we'll get one more stab at crude. Let's see, some NASDAQ's coming in. You know what? We're probably gonna skip on crude right now. We're probably gonna check out NASDAQ. I'm looking for an entry around 18,593 or 18,600. 18,600 key psych level. And again, in that broken demand zone. NASDAQ trying to reject that fair value gap. Staying patient, not jumping in because we still got a few seconds on this 1 minute to close. Let's get NASDAQ back up here on the heat map. Should probably look at ES, right? ES is real nice when it comes to those icebergs recently. But I suppose not. It's the 5 minute looking. Be a little patient on that 5 minute. ES also has a fair value gap formed on the 5 minute in that broken demand zone, so two potential setups, but we do have to be careful because you got to remember that daily time frame looked bullish. There's crude. Crude is pumping after we got stopped out. Definitely got to recognize that. Journal, make sure we adjust our trading plan for the rest of the week, right? So I wanted this 1 minute fair value gap to play out. Meanwhile, we had a 1 minute order block right below it that ended up playing out a lot better. So with that being said, I'm going to be more patient for my next entry, and we're going to adjust our trading for the rest of the week. And that's just how you got to trade. Mondays are just getting used to the market, getting a feel for what the market's doing, adjust to it, adjust with it. We're not trading against the market, we're trading with the market. Weighted index looks pretty weak right now. Probably going to see some more downside. Would consider scalping NQ shorts, but we do have some absorption coming in here. I'd much rather see if maybe we create some divergence. Maybe, or maybe we might not create divergence, but I still wanted to see if I get short inside this broken demand zone. Ideally, it's like ideally I'd want it, obviously we'd want some type of optimal trade entry, but nothing really lines up with that other than the order blocks. So I like this fair value gap. I like this broken demand zone. It's a strategy I've been trading for years, is the broken demand, broken supply, which again is the same thing as a order block turning into a breaker block, but I just find my zones a bit different. Let's see.
Yes, you're different, right?
That's for sure. YouTube, I'm gonna hit skip ads on that for you. Just make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe. We're being patient right now. We are currently 0 for 2 today. I like to be transparent with you guys. Only a little bit of a paper cut on the day. So we're just waiting for that next best setup. That's it. That is it. We saw the Bears take over here. We talked that out. Again, crude oil doing its best. Come back up higher. Craziness. I'd maybe consider scalping crude long again, but no. Because now where's our entry? Our entry point originally was here, and then it was here. Now we're way up here. If I enter here, where's my stop loss gonna go? Where's my take profit gonna go? It's a horrible and a swayed risk to reward on that. Gold still continuing. Maybe gold is the trend trade here. Craziness. Now we have a little bit of liquidity sitting here at this high. Same with ES. Created a little bit more liquidity sitting at this high, which is right in this fair value gap. Staying patient, looking for some NASDAQ shorts. Want to look at that daily time frame. Still be aware of it, because that daily was still a bit bullish, but that doesn't mean we can't pull back or have a bearish move or a bearish day. If you feel too jumpy when you're looking at the 1 minute chart, guys, make sure you pop out to the 5 minute. 5 minute gives you a bit of a clearer picture, and then same with the 5 minute to the 15 minute. Like right now, the 1 minute, I'm saying, oh my god, I want to jump in short here. But this is still sort of a bit of a range. That short could play out. It could. However, I don't know. Oh, market pulse, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Weighted index trying to drop. Nah, I'm not a big fan of these shorts just yet. Yeah, I missed my entry because I was looking for this broken demand zone to enter. The entry's still not out of the question because we haven't really broken these lows just yet. We might. This feels pretty strong right here. Yeah, see, both are picking up on the market pulse. There's crude oil tapping back into that area. So if we were taking crude again, now would be the time.
So gold hit a supply zone, may react here before it continues north. I have hit my daily target, so I am
Very
done.
good. Awesome, man. Awesome. Good stuff. I'm looking for crude here to hold up on the heat map. There's that selling pressure. ES, NQ, both new low days right there, right? So again, we missed that fair value gap entry. We were looking for a stronger entry right up in here. Still gonna be patient. Knew those sellers were coming though. That's fine. We'll wait for gold all day if we have to. Gold will be our gold today, guys. We'll strike gold with gold. I'm going to take another stab at crude in just a minute. I want to see us break this low right here for a second and then push back higher. My entry's going to be right there. Stop loss will be wherever that candle low will be. Waiting for crude for confirmation to go long here. $11 seconds. I needed to pump for about 10 seconds right now. Doesn't look likely. Perhaps. Not the biggest fan of that, but I'm gonna take some crude longs one more time. I wanted us there. We'll get out of that. We'll get out of that. Again, just paper cuts, paper cuts. We look for small losses. If you keep your losses small, you will get there. The first goal in trading is to minimize your losses so you're not blowing accounts. If you're not blowing accounts, it'll feel a lot less stressful to try to trade. So I'm looking for gold. Gold's going crazy today, man. Some more selling pressure. Probably going to see another move to the downside here. I want to see if we got any demand zones on NASDAQ ES coming up, or if we're just going to keep dropping. Guess we got one right here, that purple level. Other than that, we're going to look for a short entry. Come on, take out these highs. Grab some liquidity. Take out those highs. Yo, crude oil's chopping around like cray-cray today. Gold trying to come back. I'm going to put the weighted index where crude is, because not doing good on crude, so we're going to stay out of it. Discipline. Weighted index is the Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, and Meta. Those are 5 heavily weighted stocks that I find make a big push or pull on the NASDAQ and ES, especially the NASDAQ. So I like to watch this along with ES and NQ. Let's take a look at this 5-minute OTE real quick. Make sure I have it plotted right. I sort of feel like it should be a bit further down, like over here. So we'll see. Market's just been very strong for gold, so we're gonna have to wait and see, because now we're pulling back pretty strong. So let's get crude, let's get NASDAQ back up here. I'd like to find a place to scalp some NASDAQ shorts. That's what we're looking for right now. Potential entry on these shorts will be if we can break into that broken demand zone. That's like super ideal, really what I'm looking for. Gold might continue on that. There we go, nice NASDAQ buying pressure right there on the heat map. We see that with bookmap, guys. There we go. Potential divergence. If NQ fails that high, ES breaks that high, that might be something. That really might be something, actually. Alright, that's what we're looking for. I want ES to break that high, get into this fair value gap, NQ to fail that high. We're going to be patient. Gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. Not jumping in any shorts here just because we rejected down a little bit. See that? That 1 minute. Not a fan. Staying. We're waiting. How's the 5 look? How's the 15 look? 15 also has that fair value gap up there. So that's interesting on NASDAQ. 15 has a fair value gap. Oh, does that? Where is it? No, yeah, it's we would have to break that high to get into that 15-minute fair value gap. So we'll see. Again, I'm looking, that 15-minute fair value gap now forms on that broken demand zone. So again, really sort of still waiting on that setup. We're in that we're in that fair value gap again, and we're rejecting again. We didn't make any divergence, or else I would jump in right now. Let's see. Still no divergence, still no trade. We did reject that fair value gap though. Yeah, we'll see. Nope, yep, ES buying pressure. Let's see. Divergence or break of this buy side liquidity. That's what I'm looking for. Staying patient. Market ain't gonna give it to me right now. Market's gonna make me wait and wait and wait and wait and wait.
Gold possible head and shoulders.
Oh, look at that. Yup. Nice. Just gotta find those knees and toes to enter. Oh my god, I'm so funny. Sorry you guys had to hear that. I'm thinking of grabbing some NQ shorts here. Because that was another nice rejection off of that fair value gap. I just, again, that's not my plan. That wasn't my trade plan. I like to look for liquidity to be swept. I like to look for divergence. Give me something. Let's see. Equities are still pretty weak. Nvidia's pumping right now. Not pumping, but pretty strong at the moment. I see Nvidia right here is at 107.70. Nvidia's a buy below 100. Just saying. You could quote me.
Gold has a pivot point and fair value gap down here around 24.88, 87-ish.
All right.
So if we do head south, that's a very good possible target.
Oh, come on. Break that. Break it. Come on.
Gold
I'm also
also-
looking at the 5-minute, guys. 5-minute looked very bullish that last candle. So I don't really want to jump right into these shorts right immediately. Let's see. I'll grab a short there on NASDAQ. Stop loss is the high of the supply right here. The broken demand, I should say. But that might be strength right there. I don't know. We might just pump right through. Might have been a bit too early. We'll never be the first seller, never be the first buyer. That's what I just tried to do. Great example of why we don't do that. We will never be the first seller. We'll never sell the top. We'll never buy the bottom. We might be close at some point, right? We might get close sometimes, depending on our strategy, making sure we follow our strategy. But yeah, I sort of jumped in while the market was strong. So pretty poor fill. If I wanted to play it safe, I could put my stop where the 15-minute fair value gap ends, but I don't know if I want to do that. And again, market was bullish, so I just went short against a strong market. I'm stopped out of those. So just like losing day all around. It happens. We can't fight the market. Depending how this 1 minute closes, I would even consider getting back in. But right now, no. Maybe. Hold up. Gotta let this 1 minute close. Gotta let this 1 minute close. See that? We almost just jumped in some shorts again without it closing. We're at yesterday's close, though, which is a pretty key level. Broke that fair value gap for a moment. See. That's close. That's close. I'm not taking it. Looks like we're still waiting on gold.
Gold is at a prior day VPOC. It did have a buy line underneath it that they pulled. So it's going to move. It's going to chop here on this VPOC for a minute before it moves.
I'm like not convinced on the buy side yet for ESNQ. The 15 looks pretty bullish though, so we'll see. 15 looks bearish on gold. Looks bearish coming out of that supply zone, so. Ooh, look at that. Sellers are failing now. Failing bad on NASDAQ ES. I don't think there was any demand zone here that we bounced off of on ESNQ over here. Which happens rarely, but it happens. We had this liquidity sitting here on ES, and we had this one sitting here on NQ, and I guess that was the divergence. That you see out at this time, this is the same low on ES, same low on NQ. NQ did not fail this low. ES did fail that low, so NASDAQ would have been a stronger divergent one right there. Divergence is this right here. ES made that low. NQ made that high. So that's the divergence. Wow, look at that. Well, we got an inverse fair value gap now. those funny. Probably look for an entry there. But we're probably done for the day, right? Take your losses, get your things, and just call it a day. Be happy to minimize them. That's it. Weighted index is trying to pump higher. Nvidia, I've said before, is at 107, is at 109 now. So Nvidia pumping was definitely a strong leader on the NASDAQ. Yeah, should have been keeping a closer eye on Nvidia. Probably would have kept me out of those shorts, but that's okay. The 30, I want to see this 30 push down and close somewhere over here. Would be pretty bearish on gold. We'll take a look at crude, get an idea, see if it did do anything different. Nope, crude's still in that same range, man. Glad we got out. Glad we got out and stayed out. You okay?
Yeah, he's okay, thank you.
That random noise in your house that you're just like, shit, is everybody alright? It's funny, I'd consider some shorts here on gold.
And if it goes short, 24.88.
Yeah, I got 24.88 exactly. Exactly, that's what I was looking for too. But I don't want
I'm
to do
leaning
that.
short. I'm leaning short on it also.
Just because
It's
the
chopping
15.
on this VPOC thing here, but it's got a fair value gap. It's got a pivot point below it. This head and shoulders. Yeah, I'm leaning short. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, the daily, though, gotta remember, daily's been much more bullish. It's exactly what happened on NASDAQ, right? We thought we should have been going short, and then we got rolled. So, I guess I still just want to be patient for this fair value gap to hit this 24.8850. Because right now we are still just chopping, still consolidating. The 5 minutes we have, no. What was Friday? Friday, I'm pretty sure, gave us a pretty clean trade on gold, too. Yeah. Yeah, but I think that was with the optimal trade entry. Yep, at the 78, though, so we're going to see. And then it sort of grinded up. So it pumped, just like it did today. It dropped hard, just like it's sort of doing now. And then it paused and grinded back up. So we'll be looking for gold shorts here for a scalp. Not gonna take it. And then I mean, selling pressure looks good. There's no doubt about that. We'll just see. We'll see. We have a 1 minute fair value gap right here on crude. I mean gold. Whatever the hell we're trading. NASDAQ also chopping around at this order block we created. There's that drop on crude right to that key level. Gonna take a look. See how we want to react to this zone.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm gonna put my limit order out there. I'm gonna probably just do one gold long contract at that 1 minute fair value gap. We just rejected off of it too pretty nicely, so that gives me a bit of confidence. But we might not come back to it, so we'll see. We'll see.
There's another fair value gap south of it from 9:31 Eastern.
Yep. Let's see.
So you might take a little heat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we'll play around with the limit order. If we start to nosedive into it, we're definitely not gonna go for this. But I like that consolidation here where that old buy wall was. But we took that buy wall out, which means we might break it. Yeah, I'm gonna look to get in at that 1 minute fair value gap. All right, I'm in gold longs. Wow, I'm out of gold longs. Dude, what was that? All right, well, now we know the feel for the market this week. Right now, the market likes to stop hunt our entries before reversing. So that's something to know, to notice, acknowledge, and adjust, right? Not going to be mad about it. We had our cap, we had our loss. It is what it is. And it could still pump right back up. But, but yeah, now we're going to adjust to the market. We're going to adjust to what the market just did to us and take it from there. I'd consider getting gold longs again, but I really gotta hold out now. But this is probably where it'll start to pump. There's the 61%. There's a 1 minute fair value gap. Just grab liquidity from it. It's still in the 5 minute fair value gap. There's wow, Nasdaq continuing that pump too. All right, that's fine. That's better than fine because now I know what to expect going into the rest of the week. Right, guys? Now we get an understanding. Now we're able to just say, okay, today's loss, brush it off, make it back, and then some tomorrow. See that gold? I said I gotta stay out of it now. Right now that's sort of paying off to stay out of it. Because now we also have a strong move on NASDAQ and ES. When we have strong moves on NASDAQ and ES, a lot of times there's not much volume in gold and crude. Wow, that's something, man. That is something. That is something. Gotta really check it, journal it, and fix it. That's it. That's it. One losing day does not define you as a trader, just like one winning day does not define you as a trader. We have to remember that. What defines us as a trader? There we go. See, again, glad we didn't get back in gold. What defines
There's that second fair value gap.
Nice. What defines us as a trader is the ability to come back from a losing day. Is the ability to really gain on a winning day. Is the ability to not have our losers define us and to consistently be looking for better winners and to better ourselves as traders. Yeah, that second fair value gap, I think that was the entry. Yeah. Nice job, Marzetti. Nice job.
That's also roughly about 50% of the pullback. So longs may be an option now.
Yep, no, you're for sure. That was definitely the area to go along, not up here. And it's funny because this sort of lined up, but we have to remember if there's a spot lower, sometimes the market will take a shot for that spot lower because it wants to grab more liquidity. Yep, Gabe asked, so do I just trade like the first like 1 to 3 hours, then call it a day? Yes, 9:30 to about 11, hour and a half. Sometimes a little bit longer depending on how the market's moving. But yeah, that's it. We gotta just like the rest of our rules we follow. We have to give ourselves a time frame. I'd look for an entry to go long here on gold now that we're retesting that broken fair value gap. Look at crude's finally dropping like it's hot. Yeah, NASDAQ previous day high right there. Still bullish. That daily time frame still bullish. I should have remembered that when I was trying to go short. Should have remembered that. Really got to zoom out more. And again, I'm not upset about it. I'm just going to make it back tomorrow and then some. That's just how we have to do it in trading. We just have to minimize those losses, maximize those gains, look at those higher time frames. Look at the 5 minute right now on gold. If this 5 minute closes as a nice hammer candle, we're most definitely going to make our way back up to another new high a day. Might even get that 25,000 key level that I was looking for. But we have 25 seconds left. It could dump, it could pump. We have to be patient. That's also why I don't like that 1 minute too much. 1 minute, a lot of fake signals, a lot of fake.
Yeah, we're also on VWAP at the moment.
Are we on VWAP on gold?
Well, according to Bookmap, VWAP is a crazy one because you have to declare when you start it. Some people start at market open 6 p.m. Some people like midnight, and some people like 9:30 session open.
Gotcha.
So It's hard to tell sometimes.
Nope, these bears said we're good, thanks. Where the bears said we're good, thanks for the offer, but we'll take it from here. We got divergence again. ES didn't take out this high, and Q took out that high. But we know this trend right now, trend is more bullish, so we're not going to be fighting any type of trend. We could take some ES shorts here because of that divergence. But, not going to fight the trend. So what are we learning this week? We're going to probably skip out on gold. We're going to look for a demand zone on crude. We're going to look for buyers on the ES, the NASDAQ, right? So far I'm just taking note what's going on in the market, what happened, what's reflecting. Pretty sure this is that 30-minute demand zone that I missed this entry with. Might have another entry. We have a stop hunt right here. So we'll see the 1 minute on this crude, see if it wants to push up. There we go, Nvidia, NASDAQ I should say. Nvidia new high day 2. Nvidia at 110.50 right now, guys. I mentioned Nvidia before when it was at 107. It's at 110.50 right now. Tesla also slow grind back higher. Weighted index pushing higher, new high a day. Nice buying pressure there on NQ. But we'll see if we flip. See, that's why we didn't take that divergence on ES. Major divergence, because now we have NASDAQ new high over here, new high a day. ES is not at a new high of a day. Not, I don't want to say not close, but it's definitely off. So let's take a look. 5 minute, 15 minute. We have an order block on the 5 minute right here on ES. We have 5 minute fair value gap right here on ES. 15 minute nothing, 30 minute nothing, 45 nothing, 1 hour nothing.
You know, Kevin, I think this is a good time to inject about which market you want to trade for the day. One of the advantages to the ES and the NQ is that you've got a lot of peripheral information, like as you look at Google, Meta, Facebook, stuff like that. That's not going to help you at all when you're trading gold or crude or anything like that. So there's certainly when you look at the ES and the NQ, you've got other information that can help you see the bigger picture, but they're also more news knee-jerky kind of thing there. So it's a trade-off as far as ES and NQ. When you look at gold or crude, crude's a little bit easier to see because it's got its own news flow.
Right.
You know, this morning they said that OPEC is going to cut back on the number of barrels of oil, which in turn drove the price up.
Okay. I like this. I like this iceberg here on ES. I would want to go short ES, but I'm gonna follow my rules. Shorts here on ES because of that divergence and this iceberg holding up. You go short ES here at 53.82 and have a stop loss of 53.8350 for like a 1.5 tick stop loss. Gold rejecting that inverse fair value gap. There's that rejection on ES.
Well, if you look left on gold around the round market open, there's a little chop area there, and then there's another one right below it. So it's coming down into those little chop areas.
Yeah. But market's too strong here. No shorts on ES. Look at the 5 minute, right? The 1 minute looks good for shorts, but we have to remember to look at the 5 minute. Is a much stronger trend than the 1 minute. The 15 minute's a much stronger trend than the 5 minute. 30 minute much stronger than the 15, and so on and so on. Not seeing nothing too good right now. What time is it? Alright, let's see. Again, another push higher. Still has some divergence. ES has not broken that new high of day yet. Would look for potential divergence to play out in this 1 minute fair value gap right. I'm sorry, is that a 5 minute fair value gap right there? Again, the divergence is the fact that NASDAQ has broken its high of day. ES has not. Some buying pressure coming into that 5 minute fair value gap. Look at the large order sitting here at 53.90. 53.90 on ES. That's at a new high of day. New high of day, very large orders, 53.90.
If gold's going to go north and roll over, it's going to go up to around 24.90 and then roll back over south. I would speculate there. So there is an upside target, but it's not a lot of points.
Yeah. I'd still like ES short. If I didn't hit my daily stop loss limit and didn't want to follow my rules, I would jump in some shorts on ES. But I'm following my rules, so we're not gonna do that. Gotta know when to limit yourself. Know that okay, tomorrow's gonna be a new day.
No, rules are more suggestions. Suggestions, yeah.
See that? Look at this crude right here. We had this liquidity sitting in this demand zone. We broke it, and then we had this candle. This would have been a potential entry candle. We have a hammer candle right after we broke that liquidity, and then the next candle closed green. I would normally like to see us close green above the area we just broke, but we didn't, but it still would have played out sort of well right there. Not looking for any more trades at the moment. The market has been a little bit of a whipsaw. We got our pullback in the morning and then our pump right after, right? Because the market has been bullish. That daily time frame bias is so important. It will almost, I don't want to say it'll never fail you. Everything in the market will at some point not work out. However, it's very helpful. So divergence, again guys, divergence sort of looking good right now. We would keep an eye on the 15 minutes. See how the 15 minute wants to close. If the 15 minutes gives us a bearish close, which would sort of be just a supply zone, right? So I want us to close below this blue area and have a small green body and a long upper wick, and that would be a potential basing for a supply zone. 15 closes in about 52 seconds. So we'd be looking for that rejection now. And same with crude, right? This could also be creating a demand zone on the 15 if it wants to close above this purple level. And gold, also 15-minute demand zone forming. We might get that continuation now on gold and crude. And if we weren't so stuck on the 1 minute and 5 minute and paid a bit more attention to the 15, maybe I would have been more patient and have caught these lows instead of trying to jump the gun on every other little pullback. So again, just something to be aware of. Nice. Wow, look at that. Called that on ES. We're going to get that close on ES, and we're probably going to drop lower from there. And that's alright. Not going to be like, oh man, I knew it. I missed my trade. I knew it was going to go lower, blah, blah, blah. Because there were 3 other times today that I knew it was going to go lower or knew it was going to go higher. And it didn't stop me out first, or it didn't at all. So with that being said, again, just sort of acknowledging what the market's doing right now. Looking at what helped me on this potential trade, which would have been the divergence and the higher fair value gap, not the lower ones, not the order blocks, but the higher fair value gap and divergence. Or I can note that the Nasdaq pulled back, but buyers came back in with a lot of strength, right? So we might be looking at some good buying opportunities for those who trade options or trade stocks or swing trade. Look at this crude pump right there. That's crazy, man. And again, we were looking for crude longs over here at some point, so we got stopped and chopped out. We got to notice when we're chopping and just say, nope, not yet. Sometimes the best places to enter are the areas where we chop, but if the market itself isn't reacting properly, we have to react to the reaction, right? So let's take a look at the 5-minute. Would definitely want, see, it looks good to continue to the downside on the 15. Based off of my analysis of below that blue zone. But I'm just still not a fan. Buyers have been very strong and they've been proving that. And now we have a 1 minute fair value gap here that we're trying to hold to. So again, can't really be trading shorts into a daily buys of longs. Oh, look at this big iceberg right here. Sort of helped us with the longs right there on NASDAQ. We'll take a look, see if we want to come back to it. Look, we broke it with some strong selling, and then the sellers got trapped. This was at 18,692, right over here in this 1 minute fair value gap on NASDAQ. And I'm curious on how we react to that. Well, I see how we reacted to it. I'm curious on if we could come back to if we'll react to it again. NASDAQ much stronger than the two. Would look for NASDAQ longs over anything right now. And again, that's probably going to be something I'm going to be looking for the rest of the week. Gotta have more discipline, gotta add another rule. And guys, our rules are meant to be followed, but just like our strategies, market conditions can call for different rules in the market. So if one of my rules is I can't trade for another 5 minutes after I take a losing trade, I might have to adjust that to I can't trade for 15 minutes after a losing trade, or I can't trade that same ticker after I take a loss on it. You know, something along those lines to keep you out of a potential another losing trade. Now, yes, sometimes a rule might keep you out of a winning trade, but we have to measure risk to reward as well. And if you feel as if it's really going to keep you out of a winning trade, then adjust your rule again. Instead of not trading that ticker, trade half the size you would trade. Trade half the risk. Trade, instead of after 10 minutes, trade after 5 minutes. Find another reason, another rule, but always have rules. Weighted index a little weak here. Absorption coming in, probably wouldn't look for longs at the moment on NASDAQ unless we have a big buy bubble that blows us right through this 712 level, 713 level. But right now we would look for a short right over here, 710, stop loss 714. But it looks like it's trying to build up. There it is, and we might get a pop now. But we might not. Last time we broke, oh, let's see. We don't know. We don't know until the market gives it to us. We know that this iceberg over here, it broke for a second with sellers, then they got trapped. Now we see this iceberg right here, broke for a second. Now let's see if buyers want to get trapped. Look at that, quick rejection. I want to zoom out a bit. I want to see the buying pressure versus selling pressure. Obviously, buyers are still strong. Buyers are still active here. I'm not looking for any shorts. Same with crude. I probably could have been looking at this over here to get an idea for where to go long and short on crude. Gold's a little messy. Gotta clean up gold a little bit. Nope, there we go. There we go. Probably gonna see a run up to 32 now. at 20. I want to see strong buying. Every time, these buyers keep trying to step in just to get wasted again. Marziti, that's hilarious. Are you still in the are you still in the stream right now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can I share that?
Sure.
All right. So Marziti said, so I wonder if fair value gaps would work in dating like in trading. So this girl with a huge fair value gap in her front teeth thought it would be a great date until I found out she was. Oh, that's I'm not gonna say that next thing. Saying it out loud is much worse than reading it. Found out she had divergence, so I canceled the date. So I started running. Nice. That's funny. That's really funny. Did you come up with that?
I'm sporadic like that.
That's really funny. So again, I was looking for a run up to 32 up here on NASDAQ. We're just chopping around. There we go. Still got divergence holding us, right? ES hasn't broken that new high a day just yet. It can. There's that 30. Want to see that 32. See how strong that is? Now an iceberg is starting to form. Another iceberg is starting to form. This is a very strong level right there. Absorption's coming in. We might blow right through this. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. That was real good. We saw all the market trying to hold it back, but all this buying pressure coming into it gave us a nice quick pop. Let's see if we want to continue or if we want to fail. Again, ES has not made a new high of day. It's very close. YouTube, I'm going to hit skip ads for you guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I do appreciate it. We go live Monday and Friday for you guys on YouTube. We have a streamer going live Monday through Friday for our community here at Bullish Bears. Let's see if we get a run up to that 750 area. That would have been a nice scalp when I was looking at 32 at 20. Yes, getting close to new high a day. Keeps failing. Look at the market makers are keep trying to block us. Keep trying to block us here, trying to block us here. The sellers, they don't want us hit. Excuse me. The sellers don't want us hitting these major levels. Very low volume on the session volume profile right up here. Something to be aware of. Stronger volume down here, 709. We got that 32 target before, right? We were looking for that 32 target. Was this one right here? We blew into it. Then buyers got weak, and we started pulling back. So what I'm going to be doing this week, right? So again, Monday, we sort of got a feel for the market. Tuesday, I'm going to be looking for more NASDAQ-style trades. And when I'm watching something, I'm going to be more aware of what in the world our heat map and book map is doing, because heat map is really just such a fantastic tool. It really gives us a better idea of where the buying and selling pressure is, helps for scalps, helps with everything. Now I will say it's not as effective on something like crude oil or gold, even though we do see the strong sell wall and we see they just pulled all of it as we're looking at it as we speak. But it helps more on things that are a bit more liquid like ES and NQ because of how liquid they are, because of the volatility, because of the liquidity they have. It's very volatile. There are always strong levels. There's always some type of absorption or something going on. Five minutes still looks too bullish to go short. You guys got any questions, let me know. Starting to get a bit more free time lately, guys, so if anybody wants to clock in any sessions, let me know. Go over some stuff one-on-ones. One-on-ones are super important when you're learning to trade because it really helps you to focus solely on yourself with some type of mentor or teacher, and it helps because whether you do it once a week, twice a week, once every other week, it helps to give you some sort of direction from somebody that's already where you're trying to get to. And that's super helpful because, again, when you have that direction, you're not sort of sporadically all over the place looking for, YouTube video on this, a YouTube video on that. Then you go down the rabbit hole of YouTube, and then you're learning stuff that you probably don't even need to learn to. You probably don't even need to learn or need to know. So again, very important. Get some type of instructors, some type of mentor, some type of one-on-one sessions with somebody that is where you want to be. So again, we broke new high a day on ES. Great sign for the bulls. Want to see NASDAQ at that 18,750. Yeah, what do you? I need a name. I need a name for my company, right? I was thinking, guys, give me your honest opinions on this one. So it would be next level shift, like a market shift instead of next level shit. What do you guys think, or is that corny?
Do not use shift. Don't go there. Don't go there.
All right, so I'm gonna take that as a yes from Arzidi. He likes that name. It's really funny. Strong iceberg coming up here on 42. So I do want to see if we can blow through that, hit 50, and then reverse.
It's like the lady talking about her husband built her a new shed house.
Nicole, that's a good point. What if it was next level shift trading, NLS trading? Nah. All right, fine. We'll come up with something else. Because I don't want it to be something boring, like KD trading, KD coaching, you know, like yawn. Next level coaching, but then it's like that's sort of unoriginal too. I thought of the name The Board Trader, but that's getting batted down with whoever I ask, they're like, nope. So that's not good. Even though I thought that was original, relatable, and, well, mainly original, conversation starter. But whatever. All right, we'll figure something else out.
What's the cat's name?
Diego.
Okay, your business is going to be called Meow Markets.
Meow Markets. There we go. Meowrkets. Yeah, I'll get a total of 0 clients on that one. ES broke that high a day. Now we want to be careful on how the 5-minute close is very important. The 5-minute and 15-minute. I want to see if we can break it and continue, because now there is no divergence. We have a bullish trend on the daily time frame. We might see continuation here, where people are looking for us to reverse back lower. The market is showing us that we're rejecting on the 5-minute in the first 3 minutes, right? But we know that with a minute 50 left, we could drop down here and then pump back up. We could pump back up here and then drop back lower. With a minute 50 left, the 5-minute could do whatever it wants. And, you know, that's sort of why the 1 minute is good to get a feel for the direction, and for the 1 minute, the internals of the 5-minute. But the 5-minute's much better trend-wise, and to really let the 5-minute close, because just like when we're journaling, our hindsight is always 20/20. So when our hindsight's 20/20 on the 1 minute, if we just, or the 5-minute, we just let it close, and that will give us a better view on the market, better view of the reaction to our levels.
Well, looking at the volume profile, session volume profile for gold, I have to admit I don't know. It's just not. We're at this 50% roughly of this last leg down. It is a bearish channel, but
you know what it is? We have a really strong level on heat map at that 25,000 level. And again, that's a key 2,500 level, I apologize. 2,500 key psych level. Major key psych level within a supply zone, and it's right above the new high a day. Oh, did they just pull it while I'm talking about it? They just pulled it while I was talking about it. So clearly gold is watching this live stream. Hello. 24.97 is now the next strongest level that is sitting right above new high a day. If we're looking lower though, there is a level 24.80. 24.80. Buying, what's that, selling pressure coming into the market up here? Very nice. Let's see. Nope, I still wouldn't like it short. I'd look for, nope, not there. I look for a long position. Absolutely look for a long position. We took out the lows, we took out the highs. We throw our what's it called? Our fib up. Where's that line up? Lines up in that inverse fair value gap again. So, well, not inverse fair value gap, that's the broken demand zone. So because it broke today, because this demand zone broke today, I will keep it on just for today as an area of interest. So that would give me more confirmation and probability on this fair value gap because it formed on this area of interest. Now tomorrow, I'm going to be deleting this zone. I'm going to be starting fresh. Every day there's new liquidity, there's new volume, there's new stops, there's new hunts, all of it. Strong level up here. Remember this iceberg up here at 743. So these buyers trapped right here. There's a lot of buyers trapped in the market up here around 739. They might want to bring us back higher again. They don't want to be trapped in the market. Those institutions with those deep pockets, they don't want to be trapped. You ask what my cat's name was. You didn't ask what my dog's name was. My dog's name is Lucy, so maybe I'll call it Lucy Trading.
I didn't know you had a dog.
Yeah. She smells like wet dog right now. I don't know why, but you're nasty. You're nasty. She's funny. She'll jump up on my desk like a cat and just like lay there.
What? Is it a lap dog?
Yeah. She's like a toy poodle mix. We rescued her.
Oh man, drop that dog like a football and punt that thing.
Get out
Come
of
on.
here. You're gonna get
Get
banned.
you a real dog.
You're gonna
Get you a
get
real
banned.
dog. That's all you do with lap dogs is punt them like a football.
Nope. Nope. That's it. She's typing you something right now. She said something in the main chat for you. Nah, Lucy, he didn't mean it. He loves lap dogs.
Wait till the cat gets older.
Yeah, yo, that cat's getting big, man. Already almost bigger than the dog. All right, we're losing train of thought right here. Going a little bit off topic right here. Let's take a look. Buyers are still in control. Sort of chopping around up here. Wouldn't really look for a long position. Definitely wouldn't look for a short position. Because every time buyers do try to step in, they end up trapped. Just of recently, right? If we're looking at the past hour, you know, they have not been trapped. They have been taking control and have been doing well. Yeah, tomorrow our main focus is ES and NQ. I'll see, maybe guys, I'll hop on a stream or something for you guys tomorrow too in the Discord community. I'll do like a 45-minute on or maybe an hour on Google, like a Google Meet type deal. That'll be fun. I want to try to get, now that I got a bit more time on my hands, I want to try to get back into trading full time. Before I was really only trading when I was trading with you guys, or maybe I was doing a little bit of like mobile trading. But I really want to get back to the basics of just, you know, every day hitting the grind, hitting the charts, you know, finding my zones, finding my levels, trade plan, have an idea, what did yesterday do, what should I expect for today, what's the daily time frame look like? Like all these questions that are just instinct. And guys, these questions will become instinct for you too. You just have to get there. Takes a little time. Every day you show up is another day that you're gaining experience and you're going, I promise, if you don't give up, you'll get there. If you have full faith in yourself, full dedication, you go all in, no BSing, you will get there. If you don't quit, you will get there. If you quit, it's a done deal, obviously. But stay on it. Journal. Journaling is so important. Journaling will help you get where you want to get a lot quicker too. If you're not going to go with the mentor, you're not going to try to get a one-on-one session, at least the minimum, the least you can do is journal your trades, good ones and bad ones. Because what that does is it gives us an extra sense of accountability to say, okay, I know this trade I'm taking here on crude, I know I'm going to journal it later. So I want to make sure that my entry is valid, is validated. I don't want to journal a trade later and be like, I got in long here because it hit my zone and that was my only form of entry. No, I want some form of confirmation with it. I want some validation with it. It hit my zone. It was on another broken zone, which is another area of interest or point of control. Not POC, that's volume profile. Or point of interest, area of interest, whatever you want to call it. That's my extra confirmation. I can't just get in for the sake of getting in. I want to know, it was the daily bias in my direction. What was the trade I was looking for? Because now when I do journal those crude oil trades I took that were losses earlier, the long positions, I can successfully journal them and say, okay, I see what I did wrong. Hold up, let me get crude back here. I could say, okay, I did go with the daily bias. I got in way too early. I should have really waited for some type of 5-minute confirmation, because again, I was getting in because of some 1-minute confirmations. That is not how we want to trade it. And I was impatient. I was trying to get in long in the middle of some type of range. I misinput my optimal trade entry, whatever it is, because then when you start journaling the good trades too, you're going to see a fine line, you're going to see a difference, and you're going to then be able to not only hold yourself accountable, but you're going to be able to find better probability trades based off of your journaling. You're going to also be able to execute better and adjust better to the market. Journaling your trades is important. What else was it? Yes, 11 o'clock New York Fed expectations. Journaling your trades is important, and getting on before the market opens is important too. Like charting your zones before the market's opened. Looking for something, looking for whatever it is, looking at the previous day, looking at the previous week, looking at the daily time frame, hourly time frame. It's just so important. Like, look at crude oil now, guys. Blew through that new high a day. It's pumping up. Probably going to go make it to that supply zone. We could have been in some crude oil longs, and we could have made a nice buck today. Instead, we were trying to jump in too early. And again, it's just things we're going to journal and we're going to prepare for and do better with next time. Every day we want to get 1% better, and if it's a red day, it has to be a day where we learn something. If it was a green day, we should also be learning something. Every day in the market is an experience, and just because you're learning something doesn't mean you didn't know it before or you were dumb before. Just because we're learning something doesn't mean we have to learn it. What we're learning is how the market is moving right now, how the market's moving today, how the market's moving this week, how our strategies work, how our risk management is playing out, and so on. I'm gonna see, Marziti, that's a good thought. I might just do a video on it, because I'll like do the videos, I'll edit it a bit, sort of make it look nice. But that's a good thought, to do a pre-market prep session at 2 o'clock today. But I might do it. I was thinking I'll just do it tomorrow morning when I'm doing my actual pre-market prep.
That's fine. If anybody wants to do, got any questions or whatever, I'm available for the 2 o'clock session. Just let me know if you've got questions or topics that you want to cover. I'll be glad to jump in at 2 and go over some stuff. Can talk about how I do my pre-market prep. Everybody does it a little bit different because it depends on your strategy.
Yep.
We can certainly talk about some strategies or anything like that. If you're interested in doing a 2 o'clock session, just somebody drop me a message, let me know, so I know to show up.
Very cool, very cool. I like to always try to keep a streamer going in the mornings here. Definitely, we always have somebody in the mornings. And afternoons, we usually have either like Sig or Creed. Sometimes Jeremy will do like a lunchtime watch list with Matt Tuttle. And that's pretty cool. And today we're going to have Marziti. That's cool. Very cool. Good stuff. Remind me when we get close to 2, if you are going to do it, remind me and I'll @ everyone for you.
Okay.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of take a look at crude and see what I could have done better, right? So let's take our rewind. Let's come up to right here. And let's see, what could we have done better at this point? Well, I guess I could have noticed where the previous range was and where to put the optimal trade entry. I guess I sort of forced that, right? I put the original optimal trade entry somewhere. I think at first I even put it way up here, which again is not counting any of this previous move. So I guess I should really be more direct with it. Maybe put it on some type of demand zone, right? Put it from the bottom of a demand zone to the top of a supply, or to, again, wherever we pull back. So we'll play it through again, get an idea. Now at this point, I was trying to take some long positions, right? And I was stopping out, I was getting stopped out, but I shouldn't have been taking those longs. Why? Because, and we'll make it a bit bigger so we can look at it. Because even though we were trying to react off this 1 minute fair value gap, the real optimal trade entry wasn't until down over here. 78% was in that demand zone. We had another 61% sort of in this fair value gap. We came down. We had, okay, see, the thing is too, we had pretty good volume coming into this fair value gap, and that's one of my confirmations I look for. So I did have some confirmations on this trade. It was just not the right entry. And again, we just have to sort of recognize that. We're going to let it play out again. We're going to go back to the 5 minute. And we're going to see, okay, well, if I went long at this point, had my stop loss at the low, I'm still not getting in the optimal trade entry. There's really no entry here. Like, none whatsoever. There was this fair value gap, but we ran through that. We displaced that. There is no trade here. I should have journaled it and said, no way. Said, no trade here, no setup. Let me zoom back out. Play it through again. We dropped very strong. Again, look at, this is better volume on the 5 minute candle. This is strong. We see the volume down here. It picked up going into this demand zone, and then we wicked right out of it. So this would have been our potential entry with this 5 minute candle close with our stop loss at that low in that demand zone. And again, that would have been a much better trade, even if it's just 3 to 1, 4 to 1. And again, we would look for it to potentially really target the supply zone up there, but play it out, see how it goes, sort of runs pretty well, and that's where we're at right now. So not the most ideal risk to reward because of how wide the stop loss is, but still would have been a better setup than getting stopped out 2 times, right? So we got to recognize that, acknowledge it, and again, make a difference. Every day we want to learn something. Leanna said, would love to hear your 2 p.m. session. Do we just come here to the live channel? Yeah, Leanna, so he will be in the live channel in over here. What time is it now? About 10:57. I'm going to wrap this stream up shortly. Definitely was a choppy day. Do apologize for that, guys. Took some bad trades on my part, and that's going to happen. We are all human. It's Monday. We're not going to have green days every single day. It's just not going to happen. But as long as we can minimize our losses, then we could definitely make a difference. We could definitely be profitable and keep going. It's not impossible to be profitable. You have good risk to reward. You have good risk management. You could almost make any style, any strategy work as long as you have good risk management. Except if you're going for like 1-to-1s. Those are a little tough. But even those good risk management, right? Those, I personally don't take 1-to-1s. My risk management falls within having good 4-to-1 setups. Usually 3-to-1 and higher. I really like 5-to-1, 6-to-1, stuff like that. Didn't get that on this crude trade, right? And that's okay. Just got to recognize it. I want to see how the 1 minute reacted in that zone. And again, it was at that 78. If I had that 78 at the right zone, I had this purple level, I had liquidity sitting there too. Those are multiple confirmations. That's what I was looking for. And again, I just jumped the gun, got in, and it wasn't the right setup. And that's alright, because guess what? Tomorrow, I'll be better. Tomorrow, I'll make it all back. Tomorrow is a new trading day, and we have to remind ourselves that. And even if I lose tomorrow, that's okay, because the account's not going to be blown. I have my risk management. That's alright. If I lose tomorrow, I could try to make it back the following day. Very rarely, if I'm following my strategy, following my setups, following everything, I will very rarely have, and I don't want to jinx it, 2 bad red days, 3 bad red days. Again, you will have 3 red days in a row. You could even have a red week. It's just about limiting those losses and keeping your discipline in check. Because then, when you have a green week and then another green week, those green weeks, and these are all hypothetical numbers, if I have a great month, I'm doing 20 to 40,000 dollars in that month. But then now let's cut it up into the weeks, right? You're doing 5 to 10 grand a week. When you have a red day, now again 5 to 10 grand a week, that's a grand to 2 grand a day. We're really just minimizing it, right? A grand to 2 grand a day is very doable. Now if I'm looking to only risk 200, maybe max 300 on a trade, then guess what? If my winners are hitting 1,000, 1,500, those winners are going to make it a lot easier to continuously and confidently trade, even with losers. Even with today when I was jumping in a little bit too eager, right? Because I have to now readjust my trades and my rules. I was too eager on those long positions on crude because of how good it looked. I really had to be more patient for us to grab more liquidity.
Kevin, let me throw in also, this is one of the incredible, and again, I'm not a moderator. I don't get compensated in any way for anything that I say. I just enjoy, working with this kind of stuff. The Bullish Bears community website, Discord, or I should say, some of you may not, some of you appreciate it because you understand, some of you may not. But the point is, when you sit in your chair all by your lonesome self, cut off from the world, and you have a red day, it's like the sky fell down on you. I mean, honestly.
Yep.
You have a great day, you got nobody to tell. You have a bad day, you got nobody to support you.
Right.
That's the beauty of this Discord group, this community, is that, you can come into the main chat and just say, having a bad week here. What do you guys do when you have a bad week, or this, that, or the other
Right.
kind of thing? Every trader, every moderator in here has bad days. Even Signet talks about he's had bad months.
Yeah.
And, you got to have somebody. The problem with trading, you may be fortunate to have some friends outside of this circle that understand what you're talking about and share and talk and whatnot. Most of us don't.
Right.
I can promise you that when we get together, my family situation is a little bit different because my wife's family all lives close together, so they have Sunday dinner together fairly often. And I get with them. I don't talk trading with them because they don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Of course not.
Nor do they care.
Of course not. Of course.
So
And they don't have to.
No, I know, but I'm just, I'm saying take advantage of the fact that you've got a group here, there, and all these people here, somebody in this group will relate to you, most likely.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, it really is important to have an emotional group kind of thing for your wins and your losses, your trainings, your everything. It's a group effort in a way, and that's just kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
Oh, good stuff, Marzity. Absolutely. Because you know what, you made a great point there. When we have our winning days, right, and you don't really have a community, anybody you talk to that trades, it's almost like you don't really have anybody to celebrate it with, so your emotions are in a way capped. But then when you have a losing day, you're off, you're upset, you're angry. I'm sure a lot of you, your mood has changed for the day. You're upset for the day. You let it get to you. Regardless if we have friends that trade that we talk to or not, we shouldn't let trading get to that point where we're emotional from it. If we are, we're most likely too heavy in size on trades or over trading. However, having that extra friend to talk to, having that extra mentor to talk to, that community to talk to, does help extremely. And I do always like to encourage our members here to be as active as you want in our main chat, in our hangout chat, questions tab, whatever, wherever. DM us if you want. Always open to chat, always open to talk, help you guys get to where you want to get to. Keep those emotions cool, calm, and collective. Crazy day today, guys. I'm going to be wrapping up the stream. It is a little after 11. Again, went for like 0-3 today, guys. I like being transparent with you guys because most days are usually green and no problem. So transparency when things are fine, it's fine, right? So 0 for 3 today. it happens, it will happen again, and I will make it back again, right? Because that's just the way the market, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, great stuff today. Hope you guys were able to hold green or at least minimize those losses. Real crazy price action this week. Gonna keep an eye on it, gonna take note of it, and all that other fun stuff. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.
Be good, man. Talk to you later.
Talk to you
And
later.
everybody else. I'll be in it too.
Very good. Make sure, guys, don't forget to check out our Instagram, Bullish Bears. I'm going to be trying to post more frequently trade setups on there. Not so much setups like, hey, look out for this setup to play out, but more trade recaps, right? So, like maybe we'll see later today if this crude trade plays out. I'll do some type of recap on why this trade played out. Or on NASDAQ. I don't really see much on NASDAQ right now. But you guys sort of get what I'm saying. I did gold on Friday and Saturday. I think I did oil actually Saturday. So
Just make sure to put them on YouTube. Some of us old farts are like, Instagram? No, Instagram.
got you. I will. I will. The thing with YouTube, and I know you don't really like the shorts though, is because Instagram lets me put up like 5-second reels, and it's really just it's a video, but it's all it is a picture explaining it. But it's a video, so it sort of picks up on the algorithm. People view it when they're scrolling and stuff. Because when you post pictures on Instagram, it gets very little algorithm push. So that's that. But I'll make sure to try to get them up on YouTube for sure.
5 seconds. It takes me longer than that to put my teeth in.
All right, ladies and gents, have a great rest of the day. Hope your trading goes better this week. It's only 11 o'clock on a Monday. We got 4 more trading days to go this week. Take care. Happy trading. Any questions, hit me up. Peace.
Later.
All right, YouTube, you guys too. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Questions, hit me up. Check us out, Bullish Bears on Instagram. I try to run that page up a little bit. And Kevin.Dubs is my Instagram. If you guys want to follow that, hit me up. Need any coaching. Always down to help. Always looking forward to helping you guys further your education as well. And of course, check us out, bullishbears.com. Join our community. Got monthly, yearly, and lifetime subscriptions. Comes with a whole website full of education, plus our live sessions and our live streams. All right, take care.